Hi guys, I'm back. Hi guys, I'm back. If it cuts out again, I'm going to make this a part two. If it cuts out again, because it tends to last 10-15 minutes. If it cuts out again, I'll do a part three. So I don't mind. I think when the kids are upstairs using the internet, I think it affects me down here because I'm in the kitchen. So I think it gives a weak connection. So then that's a problem. So any of you guys getting me out there, let me know. So I'm going to look up Linda Thompson. We're doing who was Elvis's favorite girlfriend? Who do you think, you as the fans think was actually, no, two questions. Who was Elvis's favorite girlfriend? And you as the fans, the subscribers, who was your favorite? Now, I do have favorites. I liked June Junico. I liked Anita Wood. And I liked Linda Thompson. They were the three standouts for me. So I just want to look up Linda Thompson. I love her interviews. I've done some videos with Linda Thompson. I wonder if they'll come up if I put it on Google. Let's have a look. Sometimes my videos come up, sometimes, not always. Linda. And there's a lovely interview of her in the early 80s. Talking about Elvis. It's a beautiful interview. I love it. I wonder if it will come up. Yeah, this is the interview. I'll just play a clip of it for you. Now, there's a bit of music in the background, so it's not clear. But let's just play it and see.
Several months before he passed away. But when I left him, he looked fine. I left him in the beginning of December of 70, I guess. And then he died 8 months later, and I didn't see him for those 8 months. We spoke on the phone, but I didn't see him. And he really had deteriorated a lot. Now, here's a man who has everything in the world going for him. He was the most gorgeous man, I think, physically, who ever lived. Spiritually, he was sound, he was good, he was solid. Emotionally, he had a few problems. He was still a little boy, never had an opportunity to fully grow up. He had people doing things for him so much. But he let himself go a lot. It was tragic. When you live with someone as closely as we live together, for as long as we live together, you view them as a human entity. You have to live with the vulnerability, the human fallibility daily. And we were together so much because his work was perhaps an hour on stage and a few rehearsals. And the rest of the time we were together. And even, of course, during his shows, I was there. So you have to view the person that you're living with as a human soul, not as Elvis Presley on the marquee. So it's a little disturbing to see.
I know that the music's annoying in the background, guys, but I tell you what, she's absolutely gorgeous, a beautiful woman. And I really like Linda Thompson. And that was 1980, by the way. And I'll tell you part of the reason I like her, other than the fact that she's gorgeous, is that you watch any Linda Thompson interview and she really knew Elvis. She knew him to his core, and she really explains how he was as a human being. And you will find it very difficult to get Linda Thompson to say anything bad about Elvis. She's such a genuine person. And I think that she truly loved Elvis. And she says in her interviews that for the first year they were together, that she was with him every single day for a year. But then she then goes on to say Elvis got a bit bored and he would go off and do his Vegas tours and he was unfaithful, and she knew he was being unfaithful. She also says that she's seriously worried about him with the medication, and eventually sort of felt more like a nurse than a girlfriend. And she didn't see her future with him because she wanted children, and she couldn't imagine having children with a man who really was very unwell, really, and becoming very unwell, and was very dependent on the medication, the pills. But he did have very serious illnesses, many illnesses. And I'm going to do a video on all the different illnesses that Elvis had. And he had many, and many blame that Gladys was, Gladys' parents were first cousins, and they think that it was handed down because Gladys also was very unwell. And the way Gladys died was very unexpected and very complicated. So people try to blame it on alcohol, but no. And I know she took some diet pills as well, but it was more complicated than that. It's, you know, and hepatitis, stuff like that. But no, there was more going on with Gladys. She had some serious things happening. So I'll just play a bit more of this.
To see him viewed just totally as a commodity now. And I think about the humanness of the man. You can't change a 40-year-old man. You know, it's not even fair to try. People change of their own accord. That's something I had to learn very early in life, that try as you may, you really can't change another person. They have to do that for themselves. And all you can do is try to be a stabilizing force or some sort of positive influence on their life. And I think that I was in Elvis's life. I certainly tried as best I could to curb his improper eating habits and to watch the sleeping medication that he took, sometimes too much of. As I said, it was difficult for me to fathom that he was gone, truly gone. And I reflect back to his lying in the coffin, and I saw him, and I know he's gone. But I guess it's difficult for people who didn't see him in a state of death to fully realize that he is dead. They want to believe that he's off in the Bahamas somewhere, and I wish he were.
Yeah. And some people do. So I know the background music is funny, but I think it's a very touching interview. It's on YouTube. You'll find it. There's many others. So I just want to look into her life a little bit, and then we'll start looking at some of the other girlfriends. So the point of this live stream today is just to go through some of the girlfriends that Elvis had, and Anita Wood was lovely. I've done a few videos on Anita Wood, and I in the part one of this live stream, I lost connection. I was talking about Anita Wood, and it's very possible that if Elvis hadn't have met Priscilla in Germany, that Elvis was going to marry Anita Wood. Do you agree with that, Lucy? And let me know where you're from, Lucy. And I'm Louis. Nice to meet you. She was a stunning woman, and Elvis had a phase where he really liked the blonde bombshell. And Anita Wood was famous in her own right. She was co-presenting like a pop show, and she met Elvis at the real peak of the early part of his fame. So she got to go on set with him. He was wearing the Love Me Tender shirt that he wore in the movie when he met her on his date. Imagine that. And she was on the King Creole set with him. And they did a lot of driving together. If you listen to her interviews, Elvis loved to just drive around. He didn't have to spend loads of money doing expensive, sort of things that he wasn't constantly trying to impress Anita Wood. He just loved to drive around and get some burgers from Crystal's. Have you heard of Crystal's? And she speaks so highly of him. She's so genuine. But the story is that she overheard Elvis talking about Priscilla, and that was the end. She walked out. She wasn't going to have it. But she was there when he was going into the army. She's in some of that old black and white footage. And I've listened to Anita Wood many times. And she even gave up a possible career with Paramount Movies. And she didn't sign the contract because Elvis didn't want her to do it. So it proves that she 100% loved Elvis. It just wasn't meant to be. Priscilla, who'd have thought it? But Priscilla messed it up. Hi, Nadia. I think did I comment on one of your comments today? Hope you're well. Where are you from? So definitely Anita Wood is up there for me. One of my favorites. And actually probably one of the favorites of you guys, you Elvis fans as well. So I just wanted to read a bit about Linda Thompson. Let's get a feel for her. She was born Linda Diane Thompson in 1950 on May the 23rd, and is a songwriter and former actress and beauty pageant winner. No surprise, because she was stunning. Right. Let's have a look. Thompson began her acting career as a hee-haw honey on the American television variety show Hee Haw. I don't even know that. Do you guys know it? Do any of you remember Hee Haw? She was also a girlfriend of Elvis Presley, of course, marrying Olympic decathlon champion Bruce Jenner, which we all know about. And then later she married music producer David Foster. So, and I know that there's some old rare footage of Linda Thompson singing with Elvis. I've listened to it. It's very sweet. She had a sweet voice as well. So let's have a look at her career, shall we? In 1969, Thompson was named Miss Shelby County. In 1970, she was named Miss Mid-South Fair in Memphis. Also in 1970, she was named Miss Memphis State, Tennessee, and was the third runner-up in the 1970 Miss Tennessee pageant. Thompson was named Miss Tennessee in 1972. So she had a very successful career in pageants. Right, that's it. She's got a little clip here. I was Miss Tennessee and Miss Universe Tennessee in 1972. Elvis was Elvis, and I was invited to go to Memphian Theatre. We know that he would rent out the Memphian Theatre, which he rented out after midnight to screen films. So I was invited to go on the theatre, and Miss Rhode Island and Jeannie LeMay was my roommate in Miss USA pageant. She was living in Memphis, and she and I went to the theatre and were introduced to Elvis properly. There we are. That's how they met. Linda is a nice and helped Elvis a lot, but not sure that she could be Elvis' favorite girlfriend. Okay, that's fine, and that's what I want. This feedback. I'm gonna go through a few of the girlfriends. Hopefully, we're not going to cut out. But I probably jinxed it now. But I'm hoping that my internet connection doesn't keep cutting out. So, I don't know if you know this, but there's an Elvis film on YouTube called Elvis and the Beauty Queen. Elvis and the Beauty Queen. It's completely free. It's low quality. Don Johnson from Miami Vice plays Elvis, and that is based on the relationship they had. And I know Don Johnson doesn't look nothing like Elvis, didn't talk like Elvis, but I have watched that film twice, and I actually found it a very sweet film. Probably in the 70s. Yeah, you've watched it. Carolyn. Hi, Carolyn. And I know the quality is rubbish. And I know some of the scenes in it are not good because Don Johnson looks nothing like Elvis. But I really like that film. It's actually a very long film. I would say it's over 2 hours, that film. There's just something about it I like. So I just do. And even the Elvis and Me, I'm just on the live stream, okay, mate? My son. 1 second. Let me sort Tino out.
That's my phone.
Right, Tino. You know we're going to eat soon. Right, just yeah. Yeah, just go and show it. Yes. Go and show it to your husband. And I'm nearly finished now, so we can have some dinner. That was my 4-year-old Tino. They've been upstairs watching Toy Story. Let's have a look. I think Linda is a beautiful, classy lady and was perfect for Elvis. Carolyn, trust me, as a man who likes a beautiful woman, she's definitely up there for me. I think she's stunning, and she's got a lovely personality, and she still looks great now. So as I was saying, it's all right, he distracted me then. But yes, the movie with Don Johnson that's free on YouTube, it's just something about it that's really good. And then you've got the Elvis and Me, that's free on YouTube. Yes, it's low quality, but I tell you what, I quite enjoyed it. I've watched it twice recently, and the girl who plays Priscilla is really good, really good. The guy who plays Elvis, not so great. And anyway, let's keep reading.